first is the story of King Gallen. Here is King Gallen's kingdom. As you can see, it's a G for Gallen. In King Gallen's kingdom, he had 4 queens. I'm going to put a Q for queen, another Q for queen, another Q for queen, and another Q for queen. In the Gallen kingdom, there was 4 queens. Each queen had 2 princesses. 1, 2 princesses. 1, 2 princesses. 1, 2, and 1, 2. Now, each princess that each queen had 2 cats. Now, the letters of King Gallen's kingdom can help you with measurement conversion. The G for King Gallen means gallon. And in that gallon, there was 4 queens. So Q for queen, or Q for quart. In each gallon, there are 4 quarts. Now, each quart, or each queen, there's 4 princesses. The P for princess stands for pints. How many pints are there altogether in the kingdom? Well, if there's 2 with each queen, and there's 4 queens, 2 times 4 should be 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In every gallon, there's 8 pints. Now, each princess has 2 cats. So we have C for cats. We also can use C for cups. Well, if there's 2 cups for each princess, and we know there's 8 pints or 8 princesses in a gallon, 2 times those 8 makes 16. There are 16 cups in 1 gallon. So if we find a problem that asks how many quarts in a gallon? 4. How many pints? 8. How many cups? 16. If it says how many are in half of a gallon, how many pints are in half a gallon? If there's 8 pints in 1 gallon, then there would be 4 pints, 1, 2, 3, 4, in half of that gallon, or half of the Gallen kingdom. So that is the story of King Gallen and his 4 queens, his 8 princesses, and his 16 cups. If you printed the paper that I post on my website, you have seen this with King Gallen and his 4 queens and his 8 princesses and his 16 cats, which is quarts, pints, cups. Now, if there's not a lot of space for on my picture, is that each of these cats likes to drink 8 ounces of milk each. And that shows that each cat here is 8 ounces. Here's just like what I drew. There's our King Gallen, our 4 queens, our 8 princesses, our 16 cups, and each cup has 8 ounces within it. So if you've printed this at home, I would suggest keeping a hold of it because it'll be useful in the future. And here we have our conversions. And here we have our picture to help us remember. Our picture or our graphic. So now that I've told you about King Gallen, I would like to tell you about King Henry. clear this off for King Henry. King Henry was the king of a neighboring kingdom. And like all kings, he likes to have a big crown. And King Henry also loves to drink chocolate milk. He drinks chocolate milk every day, all day long. Well, one day, the queen came in to bring him some more chocolate milk, and she found him sitting in his favorite chair, dead. Nobody knows how. They just found him dead under unusual circumstances, and he still had a cup of chocolate milk in his hand. So they say that King Henry died very unusually drinking chocolate milk. Now, I'm going to use this phrase to help me remember something else. I'm going to use King Henry dies unusually drinking chocolate milk. So I'm going to put the K for King Henry dies unusually drinking chocolate milk. Now that I've put my letters up here in his crown, that's how I remember it's the king. King Henry dies unusually from drinking chocolate milk. This is another way we can convert some measurements. This K stands for kilo. This H, which stood for Henry, can also stand for hecto. This D stands for deca. This U stands for our unit, depending on what kind of unit of measurement we're using. This D going this way stands for deca. You'll notice it's spelled different than deca. C, centi. And M for milli. So I have my King Henry dies unusually drinking chocolate milk. So these units, though, that's something that we need to remember. What kind of unit? It might be talking about grams or liters or meters. And as you're going this way, you will add these prefixes to the unit and it will begin to get smaller. And as you go this way and you add the prefix, this original unit measurement will get larger. If you look at what I post on my website, you will see our crown with kilo, hecto, deca, unit, deci, centi, and milli. You'll see kilo king, hecto Henry, deca died, unit unusually, deci drinking, centi chocolate, milli milk. Here's our basic unit, gram. As I'm getting smaller, 1/10 of a gram would be a decigram. 1/100th of a gram is a centigram. 1,000th of a gram is a milligram. And as you get bigger, 10 grams is a decagram. 100 grams is a hectogram. And 1,000 grams is a kilogram. Same with liters, down to deciliter, centiliter, milliliter. We talked a lot about this in science. And getting bigger, deciliter, hectoliter, and kilometer, or kiloliter. If we look at meter, which we use a lot when we're measuring distance, we have our basic unit of a meter. And as it gets smaller, a tenth of a meter is a decimeter, a hundredth of a meter is a centimeter, and a hundredth of a meter is a millimeter. As it gets bigger, we have 10 meters is a decameter, 100 meters is a hectometer, and 1,000 meters is a kilometer, sometimes pronounced kilometer. So both our King Henry unit conversions and our King Gallon unit conversions are going to be very helpful. So here we have our conversions. And here is our picture and graphic that will help us remember this in the future. That King Henry died of unusually drinking chocolate milk.